Okay, it's Friday, the 28th of August, and we are solving quadratics using the zero product property. So what does that even mean? Well, the zero products property means you have some number times another number, and the answer is 0. So what does that mean? That means either A equals 0, because 0 times whatever number you have, 0 times 17 would be 0, 0 times 22 would be 0, 0 times a billion would be 0. Either A equals 0 or B equals 0. Because this one could be 33 and that one's 0, it still would be 0. 19 times 0 would be 0. So either the front one is 0 or the back one is 0. Alright, that's our question. We know that if you have two numbers multiplied together and the answer is 0, that one or the other has to be 0. That's the deal. So, what you're going to get, we've been factoring, and we get answers that look like this. X plus 4, x plus 7. Right? And so what we're saying is, we've got two things, and we're multiplying them together, and the answer is 0. So what does that mean? That means either this first one, we'll cut it in half here. Either the first one equals 0 or the second one equals 0. Right? One or the other has to equal 0, as we said. So for this one to equal 0, I just subtract the 4. X has to be negative 4. And so for this one to equal 0, I subtract the 7. X has to be negative 7. So the two answers are negative 4 and negative 7. So, cool, huh? Nothing to it. Let's try again. So what if I had x plus 15? Let's make that say 15. Huh? There we go. X plus 15. And then x minus 11 equals 0. So what does that mean? Whoops. So that means that this side equals 0 or this side equals 0. Right? That's the deal. Well, if this side equals 0, nothing to it. Subtract 15 and x is negative 15. If this side equals 0, you have to add 11 to both sides. So x equals 11. So there are two answers. Those are the answers. So you say, what's different? What else could happen? Well, you could have one that looks like this. X on the outside and x plus 17 on the inside. Right? Still equals 0. Well, we know either the first one, see right there's the first one equals 0. Hey, that's the answer to that one. Or the second one equals 0. So I'd have to subtract 17 to find the answer to that one. X equals negative 17. So let's try another one like that. What if I had 3x out in front and then x minus 33 inside? Well, now 3 times x has to equal 0, because remember, you cut it right there. The first half has to equal 0, or the second half has to equal 0. So if I add 33, look what I get. X is 33, That's one of the answers. And then if I divide by 3, x still equals 0. Yes. So if x is out in front and it's not added to something like this one or subtracted from something, if it's out in front and it's times, x is always going to be 0. So that one's going to be 0 and that one, right? So every problem has two answers. That's what we're looking for. What are the two answers? So, does it get any trickier? Ha ha! 1. You can have fraction answers. Yep, fraction answers. So you have to start saying fractions are my friend. Yep, fractions are going to have to be your friend. So here's one. Let's do one that has x plus 11 and then 3x minus 4 equals 0. So we cut it in half. We know that means one side equals 0 or the other side equals 0. Right? That was the whole deal. That's what we started off doing. Well, this one's easy. I subtract 11. X equals negative 11. Yay, we're done. But this one has two steps. First, I have to add the 4. That gives me 4 on that side. And then I have to divide by 3. That gives me a fraction answer. So, whenever there's a number in front of x inside the parentheses, that means you're going to have a fraction answer. Let's try another one. What if we had 8x minus 9 and 2x plus 1? That equals 0. Right? Well, you split it down the middle. 8x minus 9 has to equal 0, or 2x plus 1 has to equal 0. And then you still have two steps, right? I have to add the 9 and then divide by 8. So I'm going to add the 9 and then divide by 8. X is 9 divided by 8. That's one answer. What's the other one? Well, I had to subtract 1. 2x equals negative 1. And then there's a times right there, so I have to divide by 2. Divide by 2. X is... Hoo-hoo! That's it. That's the whole shebang. Now you know everything you need to know about solving quadratics using the zero product property. Now you can do today's homework. That's it. Bye.